Hi parents, I'm Mr. Billy. I'm the Maths HOD from Suchin Primary. I'm going to share with you the requirement for subject-based spending for mathematics. This is the outline of my presentation. I will start by sharing the SBB Maths exam format and the topics. Then I will continue with the curriculum framework, followed by some of the item types and the example of exam questions. Then I will continue with the common mistakes and some study tips. These are the topics that will be tested in the end of year maths examination. The topics will include whole numbers, fractions, decimals, geometries, and other topics. All these topics can be found in the textbook and will be covered during lessons throughout the primary 4. Due to the spiral nature of the subject, topics like whole numbers, fractions, will require the students to also recall what they have learned in the previous years. This is the SBB Maths exam format. The duration of the paper is 1 hour and 45 minutes. There are 2 booklets, booklet A, booklet B. The students have to complete both within the time given. So the questions consist of MCQ, short answer and long answer questions. Now, some parents may be interested to know what kind of questions will be tested in the paper. I'm going to answer that by sharing the Singapore Maths Framework. You will notice the pentagon with the 5 main aspects: skills, concepts, processes, metacognition, and attitudes. During maths lesson, the teacher will try to cover all this. That means maths is not just about memorizing formula. It's not just about solving addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, but it involves the understanding of concepts and mathematical processes. Mathematical processes means reasoning, communication, and connection, and also thinking skills and heuristics. Let me share some examples. When we learn fractions, we want to emphasize the correct understanding of the concept. In this case, 1/2 plus 1/4. Okay. Most students know that they have to find common denominator. So 2/4 plus 1/4 equals 3/4. All right. Now, it is very important to understand the meaning of this equation. So if we have 1/2 and 1/4, when we convert 1/2 to 2/4, we are finding the equivalent fraction. And why are we doing that? Because the concept of fractions is equal parts. So we need to convert those fractions into equal parts. In this case, quarters. And altogether, there are 3/4. Another example is in the use of thinking skills and strategies to solve problems. For example, model drawing. Model drawing is a very useful tool for students to present their solution and to communicate their understanding. Now, there are a few types of questions for SBB paper. The first type is recall and perform computation. Next, understand and apply, and then reason and analyze. For the first type, students are expected to recall mathematical facts, concepts, rules, formula, and then perform straightforward computations. The next level is the understand and apply, where students need to interpret information, understand and apply the mathematical concept and skills in different contexts. The next level is reason and analyze. Students need to reason mathematically analyze the information, make inferences, and then select appropriate strategies to solve problems. Let me share a few examples. This is a recall concept testing on the topic of numbers. What is the value of digit 2 in 23,576? So students just need to recall the concept of place value, and they would know that digit 2 has a value of 20,000. This is another item on recall concept and perform straightforward computation. There are 318 boxes of pencils. Each box has 16 pencils. How many pencils are there altogether? So students need to recall this is a concept of multiplication and then perform computation, and they should get the answer immediately. Another type of question on understand and apply concept. In this case, Alex spent $24 on food and saved the remaining $6. What fraction of his total money did he save? Now, the students need to understand the context and apply the concept of fraction. Okay, fraction is part of the whole. So what fraction of the total money did he save? Because he saved the remaining $6, so the numerator will be 6 out of the total, and the total in this case is 24 plus 6, which is 30. So the fraction that he saved will be 6 out of 30 equals to 1/5 after simplifying. This is another item type on understanding and applying concept. The sum of two numbers is 3,825. The greater number is twice as much as a smaller number. What is the greater number? Now, this question can be solved easily using model drawing. We know there are two numbers, and the greater one is twice, represented by 2 units. So altogether, there are 3 units, and the 3 units equal to 3,825. Then from there, we can find 1 unit and then find 2 units because the question asks for the value of the greater number. Alright, now this item is on reasoning and analyzing information. Mr. Tan shared some coins with a group of children. If he gave 8 coins to each child, he would have 3 coins left. If he gave 9 coins to each child, he needed 2 more coins. How many coins did Mr. Tan have? Students need to understand, if Mr. Tan gives 8 coins to each child, so there are different possibilities and those numbers must be multiples of 8. But because he would have 3 coins left, so there is an extra of 3, so the list of possible numbers will become 11, 19, 27, and so on. Now this is the first scenario. There is another scenario where he gives 9 coins to each child, so it will be multiples of 9. In this case, he needed 2 more coins. That means he doesn't have enough. So we need to subtract 2 from the multiples of 9. We get 7, 16, 25, 34, 43. The question asks, how many coins did Mr. Tan have? So we need to find the common number. And in this case is 43. This is another example on reasoning and analyzing information. A rectangular piece of paper is folded to form the shape shown. What is the area of the rectangular piece of paper before it was folded? Now, to solve this, students need to visualize, need to analyze the information given. So in this case, students need to reason that there are few sides where they have the same length as shown by the arrow here. So they need to visualize if this piece of paper is unfolded, where or what are the length of the different sides. So the total length is actually 7 cm plus 5 cm plus 4 cm equals 16, while the breadth remains 5 centimeter. So what is the area of the rectangular piece of paper? It will be length times breadth. 16 times 5 equals 80 square centimeter. Now I'm going to share some of the common mistakes made by the students. Number one is transfer error. In this case, you will see 9 times 12 equals 108. The calculation is correct, but the number is transferred wrongly, resulting in calculation error. Number two, wrong use of equal sign. Mr. Tan spent 2/5 of his money. He's left with $12. So since Mr. Tan spent 2/5 of his money, he's left with 3/5, and this 3/5 represents $12. Now we cannot write equal sign here because 3/5 is not 12. 3/5 is actually 0.6. So students need to use arrow or dash to represent that 3/5 represent $12. Another common mistake is writing incorrect mathematical equations. In this case, 20 plus 10 equals 30. Then the student continues with another equation, but this will cause the equation to be not equal. So like 20 plus 10 is not equal to 35. Another common mistake is omission or incorrect units of measurement. For example, 1 kilometer supposed to be 1000 meters, but the student may use a wrong fact, and then because of that the calculation become incorrect. Now, it is very important for students to have good understanding of the concept that they learn in primary 4, because it will have implication to what they will learn in primary 5 and 6. Now, in primary math syllabus, we use spiral approach. So what they learn this year will be the basic or the foundation of what they will learn in the upcoming years. I give you an example. In P4, they learn fraction of a set. So in this case, 1/4 of 8 equals 2. Now in primary 5, they will learn something more complex. For example, they will learn what is half of half. So half times half equals 1/4, like what we have in the diagram here. Then in primary 6, they will continue with division of fractions. So you'll notice that within the same topic, the level of difficulty is getting higher. So basic concepts, basic understandings is very important. How parents can support their child? Number one, monitor the homework completion. Get your child to present his or her work clearly and systematically. Number two, encourage your child to have regular revision. Attempt questions where correction has been made for previous mistakes. This will ensure that the child understands the previous mistakes and know how to correct them. and get the basic facts and formula right. It's very important to help them build the speed and accuracy for the paper. Next, build time management skills. When doing a timed practice, get your child to complete the practice within the given time. Especially before SA1 or SA2, the teacher would give practice paper from the previous years. So it is very useful if the child can try to complete the paper within the time given. Some exam tips. Okay. Underline or annotate important information in word problems. During maths lesson, the teacher will model this and will encourage the students to identify key information from the questions. This will avoid unnecessary mistakes and misconception. Do not dwell too long on a question. Skip questions when unsure of the approach to solve the question and return to complete them later on. Attempt all questions and show all the math equations and workings. Even if the final answer is wrong, but if the steps are shown clearly and there is evidence of understanding, method mark will be given. And then check the accuracy of the calculations to avoid uh, unnecessary mistakes. That will be all my sharing on the P4 Mathematics SBB. Thank you. For further questions, you may consult your child's mathematics teacher. Thank you. Bye bye.